This is mental wellness in the modern world. Our mission is to connect biblical and psychological principles to better understand ourselves and the world around us. In a time when chaos is loud and pressure feels constant, peace isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Mental wellness isn't just about surviving, it's about finding clarity, strength, and meaning in the everyday. This is where honest conversations happen, where healing meets truth, and where you're reminded that you're not alone. Hi, I'm mwmw with Benison Kingdom Network, and this is Mental Wellness in the Modern World. Our mission is to connect psychological and biblical principles to better understand ourselves and the world around us. And today, we're going to be talking about a cognitive bias called sunk cost fallacy. Now, a cognitive bias, I like to think of it as a trick that our brain plays on ourselves, okay? So I'll tell you a little story. Recently, I was talking to a friend who does real estate investment, and this friend was telling me about this project that they were working on that they've invested a ton of money into trying to acquire. So they're trying to buy a property, and they've already spent a lot of money in the process of just trying to get the property. But what's happening is that it's not working out the way that they're expecting, and it's looking worse and worse and worse. Now, I sat down with this friend recently, and I asked her, why are you still moving down this path? And she was like, well, I've already invested so much time and money, and I don't want to lose that. And that led me to start asking her additional questions. And as it turns out, if she were to continue down this path, when she really challenged her instincts, which her instincts were to keep going at all costs, not lose what she'd already invested, she could potentially bankrupt herself if things went really wrong. So that's a tremendous risk that she is taking, and she is committing the error of sunk cost fallacy. This means that she is continuing to invest in something that she's invested a lot into, and she's risking even more and even more and even more. Now, this can lead to poor decisions. This can lead to significant losses. And it's something that is widely recognized in the psychological world and something that psychologists try to challenge. Of course, what do we talk about in this show? We also talk about biblical principles. And I bet you can guess that I'm going to tell you that the sunk cost fallacy, although not called that term, appears in the Bible many times. God actually warns us through the Bible to be very careful, never to continue down a path once it's already, just because we've already invested a lot into it. This means that, for example, Jesus addressed sunk cost fallacy in the context of discipleship. He called people to walk away from lives that they had built to follow him. He told people, leave your homes, leave your investments, leave your families in some cases, and follow me. To decide not to do that, to decide that that's not worth it, to decide it's not worth giving something up, is a form of sunk cost fallacy at the most extreme form, I would say, but that's what it is. He also discussed that in Proverbs, we know, in Proverbs, it's discussed that the importance of confessing and forsaking our transgressions, like saying we shouldn't have done that, I'm not going to do it again, is really important. So we don't cling to our past and don't cling to our past due to a sense of past investment or lost investment and trying to avoid that. In Galatians, there's also a passage that emphasizes the importance of self-control and warns against allowing emotional attachment to lead to destructive behavior. And there's also a parable in the book of Luke, which discusses consequences for not considering the total cost of a project. So all of this to say, we know that people make these mistakes, these types of mistakes, where once they've invested, they don't want to back out. And so today, I wanted to raise your awareness of this issue. It's something that probably every human on the planet has committed at some time or another, and you and I may be committing it right now. So I challenge you today to consider where in your life you might be experiencing sunk cost fallacy. Maybe you've worked really hard on a social media account and it's not working out, and it's maybe going to hurt you in the long run. It's not a good use of your time because you could be using something else, doing something else with that time. Or maybe you've been pursuing some goal in your life and it's at the cost of some other goal that maybe would be better for you in the long run. Maybe you've invested money somewhere that's not probably going to work out, and you probably shouldn't continue to invest more money into that particular thing. Think about where in your life you might be committing this. Could be in relationships, could be with your finances, could be with how you're spending your time. Think about it. Come back to me. I would love to discuss maybe ways that we can reconsider decisions that are being made. I'm Millennial Benny. This is Venison Kingdom Network, and I hope that you'll tune in to Mental Wellness in the Modern World on Thursdays and Sundays at 4 p.m. Pacific Time and 7 p.m. Eastern.